Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Athletic Awards Night here in the Westport Middle High School auditorium. Special night, obviously, for our student athletes, families, certainly our coaches and everybody else in the Wildcat community to commemorate all athletes from all sports, grades 5 through 12, middle school, high school. Pretty cool night for the first time to be the biggest in terms of athletes, the number of athletes that we've had with the combination of middle and high school this year. So without further ado, I'd like to get started. You all know me, Jason Pacheco, the Director of Athletics, and I would like to first call upon Julie Dos Valles, President of the Westport Athletic Boosters.
Hello. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. It is a very exciting night, and congratulations to all our Wildcat athletes. Like Jay said, my name is Julie Dos Valles, and I am on the board for the Westport Athletic Boosters. The Westport Athletic Boosters is just a small group of parents. We get together once a month, and we do fundraising for our athletes. Some of the things we have raised money for are the senior posters, the scholarships. That's a big one for us. Depending on how much money we raise through the year, will determine how many scholarships we give out. We do a stipend for the varsity jackets, the team wear, we do a senior gift, and at the end of each season, we do a breakfast for all the athletes. That's just the basic stuff that we do. We do other things, and we'll raise money for other purposes too. But it does take a village, and we need people to join our group. So if you have an athlete and can join our group, we would love to have you. It would help with the concession stand, ordering spirit wear, even just getting pictures onto Facebook. So please, if you have an athlete and can join, come to our meeting or join the email list or the Facebook group, that would be great. This is my last year on being the board, as my son is graduating this year. So I know tonight is about the kids, but I want to give a special thanks to the rest of the board. If you could stand when I call your name. Tanya Quinlan, she goes above and beyond for everybody. Sue Boudria, who is going to be the president next year, who we couldn't do it without her. Christine Malloy, who conquered the volunteer sign-up sheet for concession and has done much more too. Kara Bernier, who has kept us up to date with, the meeting minutes and our emails. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. Also, Sue Viveras, she's not technically on the board, but we just didn't want her to go, so we consider her on the board. And to some of our other members who have done so much for us, Sarah Smith, Julie Moratti, Ken Costa, Jay Pacheco, of course. If you guys could stand, I would just love to give a round of applause to all of the people I just mentioned, and if you ever helped with anything, even if it was just an hour or 5 minutes of your time, we greatly, greatly appreciate it. So I just want to say thank you, and a round of applause to all the volunteers. We could not do it without you. So thank you. Enjoy the night, and congratulations to all our Wildcats.
Just to echo what Julie said, I certainly want to thank all of you as well for your time and efforts in making everything possible. There's a lot of stuff that is done behind the scenes by the boosters, a lot of planning, things like the senior gift that our seniors will receive tonight, as well as different fundraisers that they show up to and help us with. We truly couldn't do what we do as a school community without the athletic boosters. All right. We're going to start with our fall sports. I know that some of our fall sports, especially middle school athletes, some of them that aren't back yet. The baseball and softball teams for the middle school, if they happen to play soccer in the fall as well, they are not back. Their bus is on the way, so I'm not sure how many of them will be here, but I know it's tough, especially with a tough age for everything else going on. I know rec baseball, rec softball, it's a busy group. But we will start with middle school boys soccer. For our athletes, as I call you up, you can come up either side. It doesn't matter. I will have a certificate for you or whatever you have earned and will be receiving. You can line up in front of the tables for any parents that would like to snap a picture or two, and then you will proceed back down to your seats and we'll go to the next team. Starting with middle school boys soccer, Amy Texera is the head coach. I don't believe Amy Texera could be here tonight. So I will call the names myself for anyone that is here in attendance. Kingston Bigos, Preston Carvalho, Jackson Chase, Dominic Cipollini, Manuel Costa, Caleb D'Souza, Miguel Ferreira, Richard Ferreira, Tomas Ferreira, Jackson Fitzgerald, Matthew Fitzgerald, Cash Griffith, Lincoln Jedry, Nicholas Jasone, Christian Coster, Logan Medina, Benjamin Pereira, and Pedro Pont. Obviously, the other big thing with the middle school teams is the 8th grade DC trip. I'd say probably 90% of the 8th graders left for DC and are currently in Philadelphia for the day and night. So that will also hamper the numbers on the middle school side of things. The middle school girls soccer team is coached by Sheldon Thibodeau. And our Westport Middle School girls soccer players, Kylie Barnes, Ella Camara, Lily Cipollini, Mallory Crocker, Peyton Gendro, Bailey Hart, Isabella Christian, Adeline Mendes, Sophia Nicholson, Ella Pereira, Adeline Reynolds, Kenzie Reynolds, Harper Thibodeau, Margaret Toomey, Lily Varaca, and Madison Wenson. Next up, varsity field hockey. I'd like to call upon Coach Jacqueline Legender and Melissa Avila to speak about the season. And as Coach Legender makes her way up, I'd like to congratulate her on being named the Mayflower Athletic Conference Coach of the Year.
I'm losing my voice, so I'll make it short and sweet. It's my 3rd season with the Wildcats. I love coaching for many reasons, and one of the main reasons is that every season is different and every team is different. Different hardships, different triumphs, and different memories. But this season, it's really been rewarding to witness these athletes grow. Similarly to last year, we are a very young team. We only have 1 senior and 1 junior. So we were very dependent on our underclassmen, especially our 7th and 8th graders. And I know that the 8th graders are in Washington, D.C., but I just wanted to recognize all of our middle school athletes because really this season wouldn't have been as successful without them. So if we could just give them a round of applause. They really did fill some pretty big shoes. They were challenged, called on, and asked to take on high-level tasks. But together with the leadership of our high schoolers who also stepped up big, we made it to the first round of the state tournament, where we traveled to Uxbridge High School, and we faced the number 1 seed, reigning state champions, and they were also undefeated. But despite knowing this, our girls really put in a lot of work to prepare for this matchup. we always emphasize putting in your best effort, no matter what the outcome is, as long as you put in your best effort. There's so much to be proud of. And that really showed on the field that day when we traveled to Uxbridge, because they were bigger, stronger, older, more experienced overall than us. But we showed up and we played really hard. And as a coach, there's nothing more that you can ask for than, having your kids step onto a team and them just playing their hearts out, knowing that they're probably not going to win, but they still played extremely hard. So that was a very proud moment for me, and I'm for Coach Melissa as well. So the future is very promising for these young athletes, and I'm really looking forward to the next year and the years to come with this team. So I have 3 awards to give tonight to 3 young ladies. All right.
So this is everything as they come up. You can hand them, and then
Yep.
you can hang here, and then I'll call you back.
Okay.
I'm going to call the team members up first before Coach gives out her 3 team awards. So our 2022 Varsity Field Hockey Program. Team members: Hannah Abrams, Avery Avila, Herald News All-Star; Isabella Babb, Molly Bazinet, Herald News All-Star; Mackenzie Bowers, Molly Costa, Kylie DeCambra, Jasleen Gomez, Michaela Grace, Herald News All-Star; Madeline Melnick, Kaylin Pacheco, Miranda Perry, Sophia Rigo, Ava Rodricks, Colleen Smith, Jada Thurston, and Kaylin White. And now Coach will come back to the mic to give out her team awards.
Yep, starting with her. Yep. Okay. So the first award that I'm giving out goes to a player who's relatively new to the game. This is her 2nd year with us. She came to us at a summer clinic in 2021, never picking up a stick before. Last year during the fall, we needed a JV goalie. And this year, without questioning, rewind. So this was 2 years ago. During the fall, we needed a JV goalie. And without questioning it, she stepped up to the plate and committed to this difficult role. Because she knew that her team needed her. And then this season, she stepped in as our varsity goalkeeper. And she really flourished. She transitioned from JV to varsity seamlessly. She found comfort in the net, and her skill set grew so much. You could see her confidence grow as the weeks went on. She recorded 6 shutouts on the season and had over 50 saves. She's a reliable player and fabulous role model for our young players. Her growth and ability to keep the ball out of the net kept us alive in many situations and led our team to success. The award for Most Improved Player goes to sophomore goalkeeper Hannah Abrams. She's so funny. Okay. The next and final award is going to 2 skilled field hockey players. When thinking of a recipient for the MVP award, I could not decide between these 2 young ladies. They come to practice and games day in and day out, putting in 110% every time. They play center forward and center midfield. At the core of our lineup, they bring the ball up the field and feed them to our sideline players. They have an extremely high field hockey IQ. As co-captains, they carried our young team and challenged them to be better than the day before, kept them focused and in line, and did their absolute best to instill what it means to be on a varsity team. Our one senior led the team with 9 goals and 6 assists on the year. She is a powerhouse in front of the net and creates many opportunities in the circle. She is respectable and a kind-hearted person. Our one junior left her mark, scoring 5 goals and 8 assists and recording a whopping 10 defensive saves. She was necessary for both offensive and defensive play. She uses her knowledge from club and playing year-round to make her Lady Wildcat team better players. Our returning All-Stars combined for 14 goals and 16 assists. This dynamic duo had their last season together as one graduates from Westport High School next week. Her passion for field hockey, kind persona, and work ethic will be missed next year, and it has been an honor to be your coach. And unfortunately, she was not able to make it tonight. So the first recipient for the 2002-2023 MVP is senior Molly Bazinet. And our other recipient is junior Avery Avila. Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on to varsity golf, I'd like to introduce Coach Matt Camper.
You got it. All right, first I want to thank Jay for everything he does on a daily basis for the athletes. Definitely want to thank our administrators for all the support they give throughout the season. Charlene, our athletic trainer. Well, I coach golf, we don't have any injuries. And I'm sure the kids say it all the time, but I do want to thank the parents. I know the season can be a grind on the players, but it can be a grind on the parents as well. Picking kids up, taking care of equipment, dealing with a changing schedule. So thank you very much for your support and your patience with the kids. And again, with all the adjustments. Definitely a big thanks to the Acoxit Club. We're lucky to play there. It's the envy of our league. Everyone there is great in accommodating us, so thank you to the Acoxit Club as well. As far as the season goes, we had a pretty good season. We qualified for the state tournament in the first time in a very long time. And it came down to a core group of kids who have started to buy into the idea that you can't just pick up your golf clubs at the start of the season and play consistently good golf. You have to work on it in the off season. You have to kind of eat, sleep, and breathe golf. And we have some kids who have started to buy into that, and the results started to show this season. That core group of players is a young group of players. So I'm looking forward to what we can do next year and the next few years to come. So thank you, and I'll turn it back over to Ms. Pacheco.
Okay, our 2022 varsity golf team. Benjamin Bernier, Cole Boudria, Owen Boudria, Herald News All-Star, Abigail Forbes, Brighton Graham, Noah Lacey, Liam McMahon, Luke Santos, Evan Smith, Cooper Spurlett, Avery Viveris, Herald News All-Star, and Cameron Wilkinson.
All right, so our first award, Most Improved. This kid's on the DC trip, so I'm not going to give him a lot of airtime. But he put in a lot of work during the offseason. He was a pretty consistent player for us this year, considering he didn't play a lot last year. So the first award for Most Improved goes to Liam McMahon. My other Most Improved, also not here. So I guess all my speeches during the season about commitment didn't really take with these guys. But a young kid who had an interesting journey. He played on the team as an 8th grader, took off for a different high school, came back to us this year as a junior. Definitely struggled at the start of the season, but as the season went on, started turning in some extremely low scores for us, which really propelled us into the postseason. So most improved number 2 for this year is Cooper Spurlett. All right, our MVP, he finished the season with an individual match record of 7-1-2. He took the time in the offseason to work on his short game, which is rare with young kids. They usually just want to see how far they can hit it. But obviously, you need to have a short game in order to score. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. And he showed that this season, and the results showed. He was just a stud on the course. He was consistent, and he was an anchor of our team. So our MVP for this year is Owen Boudria. And can I just have my 2 seniors come up? We have a couple senior gifts for you guys. So Avery Viveros and Noah Lacey.
Thank you, Coach Camper, and congratulations to our varsity golf team. Moving on to soccer, we will start with the JV boys soccer team. I'd like to call upon Coach Dan DeSilva. Definitely a bunch of 8th graders on this team that are missing tonight. 2022 JV boys soccer players: Samuel Abrams, Jacob Aurelio, Tiago Branco, Vaughn Costa, Carter Kudo, Gavin De Silva, Lucas Freitas, Joseph Giles, Noah Jedry, Andre Jasson, CJ LeBlanc, Elijah McGonigal, Dominic Paiva, Austin Raposo, Alexander Ribeiro, Garrett Scove, and Blake Stewart. Thank you, boys. 2022 JV boys soccer players.
You guys are good. You can go back there. Yeah, go back there. Good to see you, Dan. Nice to see you, buddy.
Thanks. Okay, varsity boys soccer. Coach Stelgis and Coach Parker, come on up. As Coach Parker makes his way up to the stage, I do want to recognize him and congratulate him on being named the Herald News and Boston Globe Boys Soccer Coach of the Year. Congratulations.
You can do your team stuff.
I'll call them
yep.
up and then we can do your. I would like to, right in between, short them up.
All righty. I would like to give a brief shout out to our JV squad who had a phenomenal year. Despite playing some very large schools and having to play both the freshman and JV teams at those schools, they won 11 games, 1 draw, 1 loss, and 2 draws. So the future is quite bright for our program with these young players who can go toe-to-toe with teams that represent very large schools. I also like to thank district and building leadership, including Superintendent Mr. Aubin, Principal Mrs. Charette, and AD Mr. Pacheco. I also like to thank my 2 assistant coaches, Dan DeSilva and George Stelgis. George volunteers this time and doesn't miss anything. So he's very gracious with his time in coaching up our goalkeepers. The boys soccer team was comprised of an incredibly hard-working, dedicated, goal-oriented group of young men. Their ongoing drive towards excellence allowed them to achieve an undefeated regular season record of 19 wins and 1 draw. The team's first Mayflower Athletic Conference comprehensive division title in 9 years, and 2 victories in the state tournament. Unfortunately, the team's season ended in the state tournament's Elite 8 game with a hard-fought 2-1 loss to Gardner in double overtime, a game we were winning with 5 minutes to go. And unfortunately, things went sideways for us. We battled for those 2 additional 10-minute overtime periods, but lost at the very end. Nonetheless, this year's team once again solidified Westport Middle High School boys soccer as one of the top Division V programs in the state of Massachusetts, and very proud of the guys. There are numerous players who should be recognized this evening for their direct impact on the success of the boys soccer team during the fall 2022 season. In fact, I would like to give a shout out to the non-seniors, because I have always viewed this night as a special moment, particularly for our seniors who are getting ready to graduate. But our non-seniors who are either starters or major contributors to our season. And that would be junior central defender Marcos Dutra-Africano, junior central defender Ryan Borges, junior defensive midfielder Ben Novo, junior attacking midfielder Tommy Bernard, junior outside midfielder Nick Stanton, sophomore outside defender Zach Lopes, sophomore goalkeeper Noah Amaral, sophomore forward Will Quinlan, and freshman outside midfielder Landon Novo. As you can gather by all the names I just mentioned, this was the deepest team I have coached since taking over the varsity program. And that was a real strength for us. All right, I'm going to delay the rest of my comments to get the boys up here.
Okay, our 2022 varsity boys soccer team. Noah Amaral, Herald News All-Star. Tyler Ariel, Thomas Bernard. Ryan Borges, Benjamin Boudria, Herald News All-Star. Hunter Broder, Boston Globe All-Scholastic, Herald News Player of the Year, Mayflower Athletic Conference Player of the Year. Travis Cavallo, Matt Costa, Owen Kudo, Benjamin Cross, Jacob Cross, Nicholas Dos Valles, Antonio Dutra-Africano, Herald News All-Star. Marcos Dutra-Africano, Herald News All-Star. Zachary Lopes, Coltrane McGonigal, Herald News All-Star. Benjamin Novo, Herald News All-Star. Landon Novo, William Quinlan, Noah Soul, and Nicholas Stanton.
This year's squad had 8 seniors, by far the most in my 6 years of coaching the team. So I'd like to take a few minutes just to briefly recognize each of them. As I mentioned earlier, I think this is an extra special evening for our seniors. The first player, although talented enough to start for most teams in the area, sacrificed personal accolades to be one of our top players off the bench. His excellent technical skills assured there was no drop-off in the quality of the team's play once he entered the game. Tyler Ariel, and I don't believe Tyler's here this evening. The next player returned to the team after a break from competitive soccer during his junior year. Knowing he had tremendous character, which would add to the quality of our leadership group, I welcomed him back. But quite honestly, I really didn't expect much in terms of his impact on the pitch after he was away from the game for a bit. Well, he proved me wrong. He eventually won a starting outside midfield job, contributing 7 goals and 4 assists despite missing several games due to injury. Ben Boudria. Our next player sustained a devastating off-season ankle injury, which, despite his extraordinary efforts to rehab and get healthy, prevented him from playing in all but one game. Nonetheless, he showed up for every practice and every game, and his maturity and incredible soccer IQ allowed him to contribute to our team as an additional assistant coach. Owen Kudo. The next player was a bit of an unsung hero the past 2 years. He played what some would consider a thankless position, but his high work rate, strength, and grit allowed him to lock down the right side of the pitch as an outside defender, even against the best of teams and attacking players, Nick Dos Valles. Next player was undoubtedly one of our hardest working players day in and day out. Despite soccer not being his main sport, he worked tirelessly in the off-season to improve upon his technical skills, which transformed him into one of the top all-around players on the team. It should be noted this young man played 7 different positions throughout the season, all incredibly well. Noah Soul. The next 3 players were the team's captains, and certainly 3 of the most talented, exceptional young men I have ever coached. They are also this year's Boys Soccer Award winners. The first Coach's Award goes to a player who was a Fall 2022 preseason Herald News Player to Watch, a 2022 South Coast Fall Classic All-Star, and a Greater Fall River All-Scholastic first team member. He was a 4-year varsity starter, and his tactical awareness and technical skills, including his ability to consistently serve quality set pieces and open field crosses, contributed to his being an attacking threat. He had 10 goals and 15 assists this season, which contributed to his finishing his high school career with 27 goals and 31 assists. The first Coach's Award goes to what I would consider the brains of our operation. He would always sit right next to me during film study, and he would constantly make his comments, offer his insight, and they were typically spot on. Our outside midfielder and captain, Antonio Dutra-Africana. The second Coach Award goes to a player who was a Fall 2022 preseason Herald News Player to Watch, a 2022 South Coast Fall Classic All-Star, and a Greater Fall River All-Scholastic first team member. This player was a 4-year varsity player and 3-year starter, and developed into the unquestioned leader of the team. His athleticism, strength, and technical skills not only helped the team control the middle of the field, but he typically spearheaded the team's attack, allowing the team to score 86 goals against only 10 allowed. This player finished his high school career with 14 goals and 17 assists. The second Coach's Award goes to the heart of our operation, our central midfielder and captain, Coltrane McGonigal. The Most Valuable Player Award goes to a young man who was a Fall 2022 preseason Herald News Player to Watch, the Mayflower League Comprehensive Division Most Valuable Player, a South Coast Fall Classic All-Star and Most Valuable Player of that All-Star game. He was also, and this is a very prestigious selection, he was selected to play in the Eastern Massachusetts Soccer Coaches Association All-Star Game and was also voted United Soccer Coaches All-State Player. He was a 4-year varsity player and a 2-year starter. This player's unparalleled combination of speed, strength, and technical skills contributed to his being one of the top forwards in Eastern Massachusetts. He amassed 39 goals and 6 assists this season, despite drawing the attention of the opponent's top defenders. This player finished his high school career with 87 goals and 13 assists, and is arguably the most gifted scorer in Westport boys soccer history. The Most Valuable Player goes to, I almost made it to the end. The brawn of our operation, forward and captain, Hunter Brodeur.
For anyone that wants to grab a picture, I just presented Coach Parker with the championship trophy plaque for the league this year. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, boys. Congratulations. Switching gears to our varsity girls soccer team, I'd like to introduce Coach Gary Muello.
That's an amazing group of young men and coaching staff to follow. Really well done, impressive to not the coaching staff, but also the boys that you guys coach, or the men that you coach, I should say. So I want to thank everyone that helped out the girls' soccer program as far as the support goes. It was a learning season, to say the least, but they're simply a wonderful group of hardworking young ladies. It's a season to learn and build character, and I believe the girls have done that through the course of the season. They had a record of 4 wins, 13 losses, and 1 tie, but I will say the end of the season was impressive with 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie, and that just shows the character and the strength of these young women to rebuild the program and come back strong at the end of the season. We had a total of 17 players. Of those 17, only 5 were upper-class women, from freshmen to juniors, no seniors, and we had 11 7th and 8th graders. Again, the average age was about 13, and we were playing against teams where the average age was 17 or 18. So I want to give the girls a lot of credit for hanging in there and never complaining. I'm very proud of their leadership. They started to do their own warm-ups on their own. I never had to tell them to get going. They were very organized, and that comes down to a few players that were really great leaders on the team. I'll mention them in a few minutes. Their dedication, their attendance was phenomenal. They showed up to every practice, every game, and nobody had any excuses for missing anything. They had respect for each other, and when you have a great disparity between ages, that can sometimes be difficult, but these girls supported one another on and off the field, and they were very kind to one another. They never complained, and they never gave up. They had a tremendous joy to watch them grow and gain confidence. They were always willing to compete and face tough challenges. They were driven to learn and improve, and they truly did as the season closed. I am so proud of them. I want to congratulate all the athletic programs on how well all of you did, boys and girls programs. Some of the coaching staff here is really, all of the coaching staff is really impressive. I get to get close to some of them, Coach Pacheco/AD and Coach Parker and his staff. I really want to say thank you to Coach Pacheco for all his support. And as you can see, he's the most organized person I've ever met. I don't know how he does it. Coach Parker has become close to me over the years. I really admire him and respect him and Coach Pacheco. His work ethic, his confidence in his men, his coaching staff. I get to work beside them when we're training with the girls and the young men, and it's impressive to watch his training sessions and the amount of work that those young men put into their training sessions, and that's probably the biggest reason why they accomplished as much as they did. So I want to congratulate that team. I train next to them every day, so that's why I'm giving them a big applause, because they deserve it. And I get to see Mr. Pacheco almost every day, too, during the course of the seasons, and watch his baseball team. So big shout out to those people. Let's get right into the awards.
Call them up.
Okay, great. Yep.
You can hand these out
Okay.
as they come up.
Thank you.
I'll be back for the next one. Okay, our varsity girls soccer players. Keilani Britland. Kaylin Butter. Brooke Crocker. Christina Ditello. Emily Edwards. Jenna George. Julia George, Herald News All-Star. Corinne Holden, Herald News All-Star. Jacqueline Jasome. Vivian Mello. Alexandra Narona. Morgan Pacheco. Holly Roy. Tess Sylvia, Herald News All-Star. Emily Sowersby. Maeve Sullivan, and Audrey Xavier.
I'm going to go with the Coaches Players Award first. Yep. I have 2 Coaches Players Awards, and these are wonderful young ladies, I should say, excuse me. They are young, but they have a tremendous potential, not only as soccer players, but as great leaders in whatever they pursue in the future. They're close to one another. They were great leaders for their young teammates. I admire them both. They're funny, they're happy, they're hardworking, and I appreciate all that they do for this young soccer program that's continuing to grow. And that would be Julia George and Tess Silva. And my MVP award, thank you. She's a very special person, number one. That's always first in my priorities. She's also a great athlete. She's driven to work hard, sacrifices her body a lot, has been one of my favorites since she joined the varsity program, I think as a 7th grader. She was, as Coach Parker knows, nominated and selected into the Eastern Mass Girls Soccer Coaches Association second team All-Star. I say that's a high honor because there's thousands of young female soccer players in the state of Massachusetts. To get nominated and selected into that group of women is impressive, and she was. She was 8 goals this season and 1 assist, and we had a total of 13 goals this season. So she was the heart and soul of our goal scoring. And she really didn't play as a forward, as Coach Parker knows. Sometimes most of the forwards score all the goals, but this person scored from wherever I placed her. And she was willing to play in any position given to her. She had a hat trick in 1 game, and she had 2 game winners, and she had 1 successful PK and 1 tying goal. So those are all impressive goals. And my MVP award goes to a very special person, Corinne Holden. And that's it. Thank you. Nice job. Nice job. You look great, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations, ladies. Moving on to volleyball, we will start with the freshman volleyball team. I know is dominated by 8th graders who are in DC, but we will recognize them all. Freshman volleyball coach, Tom Clark. I already pulled out the 4. I pulled out the 8th graders, so there's only 4 possibly left. The 2022 freshman volleyball team: Aaliyah Braun, Lila Kudo, Addison Crawford, Madeline Enos, Catherine Gifford, Megan Goldenbloom, Taylor Hayes, Kylie Hazel, Kendall Leary, Brianna Ledesma Gassman, Maya Moore, Lauren Souza, Savannah Soul, Emma Terrick, and Grace Toomey. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations, girls. Our JV volleyball team, head coach Carrie Pierce, and the players: Layla Bossy, Ella Byron, Ava Kudo, Amari Crump, Kaylin Ferreira, Autumn Figueredo, Emma Hathaway, Charlie Ray Lees, Carson Moniz, Charlotte Orr, Mackenzie Plourd, Mackenzie Pont, Talia Raish, and Emma Raposa. '22 JV volleyball team. Thank you, Coach Pierce. Congratulations, ladies. And for our varsity volleyball team, we'll call upon Mayflower Athletic Conference Coach of the Year, Monique Jones.
Good evening, and thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate our student athletes. I would first like to thank my assistant coaches, Coach Pierce and Coach Clark, as well as Mr. Pacheco, Mrs. Charette, Mr. Granfield, Mr. Aubin, and Charlene, our trainer. I would especially like to give a big shout out to the athletic boosters who are always so supportive of our athletes and were a big help at our Dig Pink event where we were able to raise over $2,000 for the Sight Out Foundation. We had a very successful season and ended the regular season with an 11-7 record. We won our first round in the playoffs, however, we fell just short during the second round, losing a heartbreaker to West Bridgewater. The girls played an amazing match, and I'm so proud of them. Although we are losing several great seniors, Kylie, Taylor, Braylon, Michaela, and Victoria, we definitely have some promising young players who will be filling their shoes, and we look forward to a great season next fall.
Our varsity volleyball players, Jenna Egby, Savannah Fantasia, Kylie Finglish, Herald News All-Star, Braylon Montigny, Herald News All-Star, Jada Paquita, Herald News All-Star, Sarah Perry, Taylor Perry, Herald News All-Star, Madison Plord, Michaela Rigo, Vittoria Rodrigues, Zoe Sylvain, Hannah Therian, Herald News All-Star, Ella Turen, and team manager, Sarah McMahon. I will also give the MVP of the league plaque to Coach Jones to give to Kylie Finglish.
All right, let's see. All right, first I'm going to give out a Most Improved Player Award. This season, this player took on a huge responsibility of essentially the quarterback position of volleyball, and that is setter. You need to have a great court sense, quick feet, and your head on a swivel. This player had all of these traits and more. She persevered through so much this season and even played through an injury, but you would have never known it. As a first-year starter, she worked relentlessly to improve her game and was selected as a Mayflower League All-Star. She is strong and determined, and I know she will carry on that in her life. The Most Improved Player Award goes to Taylor Perry. Okay, then I'm going to go to the Coaches Award. When I think of this player, I think of someone who's fierce and fearless. She was the core of our team in the way that she encouraged everyone or got them fired up, because she had that way about her. And she worked hard in everything that she did. She was that player that stayed after practice ended to get that last dig or hit, and she was a true role model when it came to setting an example for the younger players. As a team captain, she was easy to approach as her teammates could always confide in her and go to in a time of need. She was essentially an extension of me. She was the loudest one on the court with her cheers, had the strongest energy, and by far the biggest heart. We will definitely miss her enthusiasm. This year's Coaches Award goes to Braylon Montigny. Okay, last award, MVP. This player's primary role on the team was outside hitter. However, she was very versatile and played all around for the team since her freshman year. She has been an asset to our program since the 7th grade. As a freshman, she was selected as captain of the varsity team. She was chosen for this role because of her strong leadership qualities and work ethic that every coach hopes for in a student athlete. This year, her senior year, she had 167 kills, 133 service points, 56 aces, and 15 blocks through 18 games. She had the distinct honor of hitting 500 career kills this season. She was voted as the Mayflower Athletic Conference Co-Player of the Year and Mayflower League All-Star. We will truly miss her. This year's MVP goes to Kylie Finglas. Thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Congratulations, ladies. Our last fall sports is our co-op football program. I'm not sure. Coach Kazim Adadaran, is he in the house? I don't believe so. Okay. As always, we will recognize our co-op football players. Coach Kazim could not be here tonight, but I would like to call up our football players. Sean Disroach, Aiden Gorman, Michael Hoey, Jesse Oliveira, and Desan Rook Silver. Switching seasons and heading to the winter, we will start again with our middle school teams and our middle school boys basketball team, which was coached by Ryan Struthers. Middle school boys basketball players, please come up as I call your name. Samuel Abrams, Kingston Bigos, Jackson Chase, Dominic Cipollini, Jake DeFusco, Richard Ferreira, Jackson Fitzgerald, Matthew Fitzgerald, Cash Griffith, Logan Medina, Dylan Murdoch, Matthew Noguera, Alex Sowersby, Dayton Stack, and Cameron Wilkinson. Our middle school boys basketball players. Now for our middle school girls basketball team, which was coached by John Gild, who I believe is actually on the DC trip. Again, ladies, once I call your name, please come up. Ella Camara, Lily Cipollini, Brooke Crocker, Lila Ferreira, Jenna George, Alexis Gild, Reese Markovich, Liliana Murdoch, Eliana Pont, Sophia Rigo, Genevieve Rossi, Brianna Soares, Emily Sowersby, and Lily Varaca. Next up is our freshman boys basketball team. I'd like to introduce Coach Joe Souza. Again, a team dominated by 8th graders, so not too many certificates here. If I call your name, please come on up. Freshman boys basketball players: Kaysen Avila, Cole Boudria, Jason Campbell, Kingston Cordero, Vaughn Costa, Callan Ferreira, Jason Goodrow, Brody Gerard, Joseph Gild, Dane Leary, Elijah McGonigal, Liam McMahon, and Devin Miranda. Moving on to our JV boys basketball team. Coach Boudria, want to come up and help here? I don't think Coach Aurora could make it. Okay, our 2022-2023 JV boys basketball team: Maverick Benoit, Luke Coelho, Maximus Gallant, Daniel Hughes, Malachi Hughes, Fatima Harris, William Quinlan, Anthony Raposa, Nicholas Stanton, and Jack Fulton. I'm going to let Coach Boudria go out of order because he's been coaching here longer than I've been the athletic director, so he gets that privilege. I'm going to call up the boys first for Coach Boudria. And first, I do want to mention and congratulate Coach on being named the Herald News Boys Basketball Coach of the Year. Okay, team members. Ben Boudria, Herald News All-Star. Owen Boudria, Herald News All-Star. Hunter Broder, Herald News All-Star. Nick Dos Valles, Christopher Duarte, Owen Fredrickson, Cameron Leary, Herald News All-Star. Coltrane McGonigal, Herald News All-Star. And Maxwell Murati, Herald News All-Star.
Okay. This year, it was actually very, very difficult to put the most improved player because there were two individuals, one of them I'll tell outside, who really shined and got incredibly better. But the one that I chose, his intelligence just blossomed over the year. And I wasn't even sure he was going to become a starter. And he ended up being one of my most consistent players. And at times, he was one of my leading scorers. He would take on the biggest players And from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, it was night and day. He would shut them down even though he gave up 4 inches and 50 pounds. Max Moratti. So my son Owen has a bet to see how long it's going to take for me to cry. He's such a jerk. Anyways, next person is the Coaches Award. He's an extension of me. I heard that today. That's a great quote. He's more handsome than I am, but I helped make him. So he has 104 charges over the course of his career. 48 of them this year. I've never heard of anyone even remotely close to that. Black and blue, beat up, 119 pounds of fight and fury, Ben Boudria. This next gentleman, I would watch the other team sometimes when he was on fire, and they would be in awe. He was unstoppable. 5'7", strong, quick, like someone who you've never seen before. 3-year starter, 4-year player, over 900 points in his career. The stats go on, but it doesn't give a real true picture unless you would watch this young man play. He was breathtaking at times. Hunter Broder. So on senior night, I spoke about all the seniors and all the players, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Usually during practices and games, I always give quotes and things. So gentlemen, I want you to help me out. I'm going to give you like a quote throughout, and I want you to help me with the quote. Okay, can you guys do that? All right, it's the last thing I'm ever going to ask of you. All right, so let me just read my speech here. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This year we were 14-8, ranked. We reached the Sweet 16. I already told you I spoke of the individuals, so now the little game that we're going to play is to see if life lessons have sunk in. Okay, so here we go. Here are some of the things I would constantly use throughout the season. So here we go. Life, like our basketball games, are going to be filled with peaks and valleys. Don't let your valleys destroy your accomplishments, and don't let the peaks take away from the people in your life who helped you to get there. Number 2, it's not about you, it's about us. Thank you. Me, yeah, us. That one didn't sink in. Working with people, whether it's a job, family, or friends, might be the most important thing you do as an athlete. Remember, it's always going to be about us. Oh, I hate Owen. All right, here we go. This one you got to get, all right? You ready? You're as fast as a cat with 3 broken legs. What that means is don't let your limitations obstruct you from your dreams and your goals. Life will be filled with challenges. Only those that take those opportunities to achieve success will enjoy the ride and the challenge. In conclusion, I want to thank my assistant coach, Lloyd Aurora, Jay Pacheco, Coach Jen, the athletic boosters, the administration, the parents, the PTO, Charlene the trainer, Ryan Southers, Joe Souza, former coaches of these young men, Max hairstylists, and anyone else who helped raise the village. You guys were awesome this year. And to close, 2 things. Bestport is a place where your feet may leave, but your heart never will.
And in conclusion, Cameron, water will always reach. There you go. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations, boys. Moving on to our girls' basketball program, I'd like to call up Coach Nikita Soares and Jen Gargiulo. There's two that didn't go, but I don't think either one of them is here. Okay. The JV girls basketball team was made up entirely of 8th graders. I will call them all up. I don't believe any of them are here, and almost all of them are in DC. But to recognize our 2022-2023 JV girls basketball team, Kira Camara, Vanessa Shavs, Gabriela Contreras, Ava Croto, Christina Ditello, Kinga DuPont, Kylie Hazel, Skylar Rezendes, and Alexis Vieira. And to speak about our girls basketball team, I will introduce Coach Jen Gargiulo, who was chosen as the Herald News Girls Basketball Coach of the Year.
I would like to begin by expressing my appreciation for Mr. Pacheco. Thank you for all of your work you do behind the scenes. To Coach Nikita, thank you for your dedication. To the boosters, thank you for your time and generosity. To all the parents in Westport community, thank you for your continuous support. To my players, first and foremost, thank you to this tremendous group of athletes. You showed up week after week and put forward an effort that you should be proud of. I hope you learn to push yourselves to get past the point where it's hard and to trust the process. At the start of the season, our plan was to coach you to grow as players and as people. From day one, you committed to pushing yourself and your teammates. You stepped up to the challenge, and I am so proud of you. Every time you stepped on the court, you were prepared and trusted your teammates. You challenged each other to give more, and everyone contributed to our success. The Lady Wildcats finished the season with a record of 18-5 and an Elite 8 appearance. As a team, we stressed 3 principles: composure, focus, and discipline. These guiding principles helped you to believe in yourself and your teammates and to push each other every day. I challenge you to take the lessons we learned as a team and apply them in all your endeavors you set before you. Challenge yourself to do better. Make those around you look to you as a leader and make them believe in themselves. To my 3 captains, thank you for always leading from the front. Thank you for your dedication and leadership. You are the ultimate teammates, mentors, and role models. To my 2 seniors, Leah and Shelby, you have left the ultimate mark on this team. Thank you for displaying sportsmanship, integrity, hard work, and commitment. Thank you for being a role model for players to follow. Thank you for showing the community what a true student-athlete embodies.
Our 2022-2023 varsity girls basketball team: Molly Costa, Jenna Egby, Herald News All-Star; Julia George, Herald News All-Star; Corinne Holden, Herald News All-Star; Giovanna Mendes, Megan Malloy, Shelby Orr, Sarah Perry, Herald News All-Star; Tess Sylvia, and Leah Sylvain, Herald News Co-Player of the Year.
So, lost my athletic director. All right, so this year I am proud to award 2 Coaches Award and an MVP award. This season, Sarah Perry stepped up as a leader. When she was given an assignment, she never backed down from the challenge. She worked every day in practice to improve her game and help her teammates to grow as well. She's a leader on the court, and her teammates rally around her effort and positive attitude. Her quick wit keeps her teammates loose, and her approachable leadership qualities make her a teammate that people trust and look up to. I am proud to award Sarah Perry with this year's Coaches Award. She's actually at a college visit this evening, so. All right. My second Coaches Award goes to Corinne Holden. Corinne, your junior season was an example of your hard work and dedication. You continue to push yourself to improve every time you take the court. I'm hard-pressed to think of an athlete who sets the bar so high for themselves and therefore sets the bar high for other athletes. Your relentless defense, positive attitude, and commitment to excellence were key to our success. As a captain, you are a role model, leading by example on and off the court. It gives me great pleasure to award this year's Coaches Award to Corinne Holden. MVP. Leah, for the past 6 seasons, you have led your team as their point guard. I've had the honor of watching you grow on and off the court. As a captain, you have transformed into an unbelievable leader. Your effort and grit on the court never ceases to amaze me. Your competitive edge, tenacity, determination, and will to win is something you brought every time you stepped on the court. As your coach, I've had the incredible opportunity to watch you grow into the player and person you are. You've become an unbelievable leader, captain, and friend to your teammates. Your trust in our team and our focus was key to our success. Thank you for everything that you have given to this program. You've eclipsed incredible milestones with over 1,400 career points, countless accolades and honors, including a 4-time Mayflower Athletic Conference All-Star, 2-time Herald News All-Star, and Herald News Player of the Year. It has been an absolute honor to be your coach. It is my pleasure to award this year's Most Valuable Player to Leah Sylvain. All right, thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Congratulations, ladies. Next up are our cheerleaders. Coach Courtney Moniz, who cannot be here tonight, did send me a little speech to read, as well as some descriptions for her award winners. So I will call up the team first. Our 2022-2023 cheerleading squad: Kaylee Amaral, Ava Kudo, Lila Kudo, Kaylin Ferreira, Jasleen Gomez, Haley Coster, Kendall Leary, Brianna Ledesma Gassman, Jacqueline Martin, Braylon Montigny, Gabriella Montigny, Kaylin Pacheco, Jada Paquita, Emma Poitras, Mackenzie Pont, Cameron Resendiz, Maeve Sullivan, and Skylar Texera. Okay. So from Coach Moniz, good evening, Wildcat friends and families. This past cheer season was such a great experience. I was so happy to be able to coach this team again and have a bigger team than ever. I always love working with new students and watching them grow throughout the season. I'd like to thank my team for always being flexible and ready to try new things and always being ready to work hard to cheer on our Westport teams. I will start with the Coaches Award. This award is going to a cheerleader who always has a great and positive attitude. As the season progressed, this cheerleader improved by leaps and bounds while becoming a great role model. She was always present, prepared, and ready to put in work. She's a prime example of what can be accomplished when natural talent is combined with outstanding work ethic. The Coaches Award goes to Kendall Leary. Most approved. This award is going to a cheerleader who is one of the hardest working students I have ever had the pleasure to work with. Throughout the season, I saw improvements from this student in all areas in cheer techniques and ended up becoming one of our go-to flyers by the end of the season. If we ever took a break during practice, this cheerleader would take a very brief break, if any at all, and would be back out on the mat working on new skills and trying to be better. This student always comes to practice with a positive attitude and spirit, and you could really tell she fell in love with the sport and worked hard to be the best she could for her entire team. This award is going to an 8th grader on the DC trip, Maeve Sullivan. And the team MVP in the cheerleading world, we call it the Spirit Award. The Spirit Award is going to a cheerleader who is a great leader and friend to their teammates. This cheerleader was a great role model and always came to practice prepared and ready to work. Throughout the season, she was able to help teach cheers and routines to her peers and always showed exceptional leadership skills. The MVP Spirit Award goes to Braylon Montigny. Thank you, ladies. Some of you may or may not know that we entered into a new ice hockey co-op this past winter for the first time, and we joined forces with both Durfee and Diamond, with Diamond being the host. So our ice hockey players have the opportunity to play for Diamond this winter and in the future. I don't believe Coach Mark O'Connor is here. And with it being a first-year co-op, the numbers weren't great, but we do hope that the numbers will grow in the future. We had one co-op ice hockey player, and it was Dylan Aguiar. Okay, third season, here we go. We're going to start with middle school baseball. Coach Cash Griffith, who got done coaching our game tonight. Oh, I see Coach Fitzgerald over there. Coach Fitzgerald, you want to come up? Coach Fitzgerald was a volunteer with the team this year, so I'd certainly like to thank him for his time and efforts and for putting him on the spot and handing out these certificates here. Our middle school baseball players: Samuel Abrams, Caden Almeida, Grant Brisk, Jackson Chase, Dominic Cipollini, Logan Faraz, Jackson Fitzgerald, Matthew Fitzgerald, Cash Griffith, Noah Jedry, Devin Lord, Logan Medina, Dylan Murdoch, Connor Rigo, Jay Solomon, and Manuel Costa. Thank you, Coach Fitzgerald. Thank you, boys. Congratulations. Our middle school softball team. Coach Jones, can I call you back up to give me a hand with this? Middle school softball team. Middle school softball team was coached by Stephanie Grant, who is actually on her honeymoon and just got married this past weekend. And was assisted by Miss Teresa Babb, who is on the DC trip. So thank you, Coach Jones, for allowing me to put you on the spot, just like Coach Fitzgerald. I will call up our Westport Middle School softball players. Sophia Babb, Ella Camara, Lily Cipollini, Lyric DeMello, Camille Enos, Lila Ferreira, Kendall Rose Gem, Lily McKay, Ella Pereira, Eliana Pont, Amber Roy, Selena Torres, Lily Varaca, and Madison Wenson. Sorry, Brianna. Brianna Soares. I had you on the wrong list. I apologize, Brianna. Thank you, ladies. 2023 Westport Middle School softball team. Okay, going to high school, I would like to ask Coach John Bernier to head on up and give me a hand here. I'm going to start with the JV baseball team, which again has a bunch of 8th graders who are on the DC trip. I've already taken their certificates out, so. Our 2023 JV baseball team: Jacob Aurelio, Ben Bernier, Cole Boudria, Tiago Branco, Brennan Gaisford, Joey Gild, Dane Leary, CJ LeBlanc, Frankie Long, Jacobson Lopes, Elijah McGonigal, Jaden Oliveira, Jesse Oliveira, Nicholas Olson, Trent Souza, and Jack Fulton. Thank you, Ben, and Coach. I can take the actions. Oh, sure, if you don't mind. Awesome.
All right. I'll call the name so that Coach Pacheco can shake the hand of his players. Varsity Baseball 2023, Kason Avila, Benjamin Boudria, Vaughn Costa, Michael DeGagny, Luke Finglas, Maximus Gallant, Brighton Graham, Connor James, Dylan Kirby, Noah Lacey, Sean Lavoy, Cameron Leary, Max Marotti, Will Souza, and Noah Soul.
All right, to my guys, like usual, no prepared speech, but I do go off the cuff here with my baseball team. We still practice, which is always a good thing when you get to awards night and you're still competing. So we did have practice earlier today, and we're preparing for hopefully a nice, long, deep state tournament run. We finished our season 14-4 during the regular season, and in the last power rankings that came out on Friday, we were ranked 8th in the state in Division 5. I'm sure my boys will be peeled to their phone or computer or whatever electronic device they have tomorrow morning, as the pairings will be released at 11 a.m. and we'll know who, when, and where, hopefully. We are playing our first round game, which will be a home game, and will be played at the old school either over the weekend or early next week. So you can stay tuned for those details. But to the team, thank you. It's an incredible group led by 7 seniors who will be certainly missed when it's all said and done. They've definitely left a lasting impact on this program. They've been with me for most of them 2, 3, 4, 5 years, probably sick of me for the most part, but I'm not sick of them. Absolute pleasure to coach. I look forward to practice every day for 2 o'clock so I can get over to the field and be with them for a couple of hours. I want to thank their families for everything that they have done to help support not only these fine young men, but our program and our team over the years. Certainly Coach Bernier, who I mentioned at Senior Day on Thursday, but I also want to, again, echo the fact that he came up with a tremendous idea to help our sport, the sport that we love, the sport that many people refer to as dwindling a little bit in the sport of baseball, and it's one that we certainly don't want to happen to. We're both involved in the town rec league, and he came up with a great idea with the JV guys this year to give up Saturday practices to volunteer their time with our T-ball players in town. Coach made a deal with the guys that if he got 6 players there every Saturday, they wouldn't practice. There is about 12, 13, or 14 there every single Saturday morning. No questions asked. He threw the list out there and never had to look at it again because he just knows that there's going to be a dozen kids there every Saturday. And Coach is there with them, and I appreciate not only everything he's done for our school baseball program, but certainly the sport itself and in the town here of Westport and the Baseball League. So thank you, Coach, for everything you did. For my team awards, I will start with a coach's award to a great young man who has anchored our defense and our infield defense over the last couple of years. I would say he was probably disappointed a little bit last year in his defense. Worked hard in the offseason, came back this year, and has had a phenomenal year while battling an injury. He's our leadoff hitter. He's currently batting .325. He is an on-base machine and sets the table for the rest of our lineup. 2023 Coaches Award goes to Noah Soul. I wore my Carolina blue for Noah, as he is off to the University of North Carolina in the fall. Pretty incredible. My second Coach's Award goes to the leader of our outfield. He patrols center field every day. Pretty much every day, unless I call on him to pitch. He bats right in the middle of our lineup, typically in the 5 spot, is a run producer, steals a ton of bases, is risky on the bases, but never gets thrown out. Drives me a little crazy at times, makes me a little nervous, but he knows he'll never hear a word from me as long as he's safe. And he's always safe. So, defensively, tracks down everything in center field. When I call his number to pitch, comes on out and throws strikes. Throws hard. Worked on a little bit of a curveball that he throws once in a while. But somebody that I can move up and down the lineup. I believe he batted leadoff at one point when Noah was out. He's batted 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pretty much anywhere but 8th and 9th, I believe, over his career. The anchor of our outfield defense, and certainly a bat that I cannot leave out of the lineup, Cameron Leary. Last but not least, our MVP. The boys have already probably started heckling him over there, and I can't hear him. But no surprise here. Max Moratti has been our ace for years now. Max pitches every game, every big game, I should say, not every game. I don't want to damage his arm. Every big game for us, he's lined up to pitch. 5-2 this year. One of the losses was just an unfortunate one in extra innings that I called upon him to come in relief. His ERA is 0.43 at the moment. In 48 innings pitched, he has struck out 54 batters while only allowing 30 hits and 3 earned runs. Max is also our 3-hitter in the lineup, batting .351. Right up at the top in the team in runs scored and RBIs, as well as having nearly the most walks on the team. An incredible eye. Can't say enough about him. His determination, his work ethic in the offseason. Max truly is a baseball player and has been a baseball player since I've known him, and when he came up with me in the 8th grade. Again, one luxury I have as the athletic director is to kind of make the schedule. And I make that schedule a little bit strategically around when I can get Max to pitch. Somebody who always wants the ball, somebody who I have to tell can't have the ball at times when he wants to pitch, but somebody whose arm I've always been very protective of over the last 5 years. And will be somebody who you will see pitching in the next week in the state tournament, again, strategically, when I need him to. My MVP, Maxwell Moratti. '23 varsity baseball team. Moving to softball, JV softball, head coach John George. Coach Jones, you can certainly come up at this time to another team with a bunch of 8th graders. We'll see who is here. JV softball players. Mackenzie Bowers, Kaylani Britland, Jenna George, Jasleen Gomez, Alexis Gild, Sophia Melio, Gabriella Montigny, Kaylin Pacheco, Miranda Perry, Lauren Souza, Emily Sowersby, Savannah Soul, Grace Toomey, and Aubrey Verville. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, ladies. And Coach Jones is back, our varsity softball team.
I'm back. All right. What a fantastic season. We had so much fun on our way to winning the Mayflower League Championship with a 7-1 record. Westport has not won the softball championship in a very long time, so this feat is even more special. This was accomplished with a very young team, including 3 8th graders. Unfortunately, we just fell short of making the playoffs. This team was special in not only winning games, but also exhibiting true sportsmanship. They were always kind in victory and graceful in defeat, both to the opposing teams and officials alike. We had 4 Mayflower League All-Stars, Peyton, Braylon, Tess, and Jada, but to me, they were all All-Stars. What a great group of athletes. Helping to make this all happen, I would like to thank 2 terrific coaches, Coach John and Coach Steph, who have helped to build our program, working relentlessly with the younger players. Thank you. I would also like to thank the parents for your cheers, your support, your sacrifice, and your time. Even at away games, we always have that fan support. Thank you. Lastly, to my 2 seniors, Peyton and Braylon. Remember to only look back for reflection and direction, but your future is forward. You now have an even bigger challenge with bigger goals to set, but you are ready. Thank you for your years of dedication to the program, and I wish you both the best as you pursue your passions in life. Remember, you always have a home here in Westport. I will truly miss this team and look forward to a successful season next spring. Go Wildcats!
Our 2023 varsity softball team. Avery Avila, Isabella Babb, Layla Bossy, Molly Costa, Michaela Grace, Peyton Majuri, Braylon Montigny, Morgan Pacheco, Jada Paquita, Sarah Perry, Mackenzie Pont, Holly Roy, Tess Sylvia, and team manager Hannah Therian.
So I'm actually going to start off with the Coaches Award tonight. This player that I chose for the Coaches Award is one of the most enthusiastic softball players that I've ever coached. Her love of the sport and team shines through on a daily basis as she always has a smile on her face, and she's the first player on the field and last player off. She works incredibly hard at her position, and she is that player that will always ask for extra hits to improve her fielding during infield practice. She is a positive influence for younger players and is not afraid to do the difficult work. She really is a kind soul, and she is the type of player that makes a coach love this job. This year's Coaches Award goes to Jada Paquita. This year, choosing one most valuable player was just too difficult, so I decided to choose 2 MVPs instead of a most improved player. The first most valuable player I chose has been a Mayflower League All-Star for the last 2 seasons. She's a true competitor as she led the team in hitting with a .500 batting average and runs batted in with 20. On top of that, she amassed 13 stolen bases, and she's one of the smartest base runners I have ever coached. Defensively, she is easily one of the best third basemen in the league with a cannon for an arm. Not only is this player stellar on the diamond, she's an amazing young lady as well. She's a natural-born leader both on and off the field, and it has been an honor to have coached her. This year's first Most Valuable Player Award goes to Senior Captain Peyton Majuri. Okay. The second most valuable player that I chose was arguably the hardest worker on the field. She is honestly a machine, and she played her position almost flawlessly. She dug countless balls out of the dirt and was able to snag balls at least 2 feet over her head. I am still amazed at how she did it. She essentially sacrificed her body day in and day out, and I'm sure many umpires are eternally grateful. As if this wasn't enough, this player was also a threat offensively as well. Batting third in the lineup, she boasted a .400 batting average and even launched a shot over the fence at West Bridgewater. Moving forward, she will truly be the backbone of the team for the next 2 seasons. This year's second most valuable player goes to Tess Sylvia. Thank you.
Thank you, coaches. Thank you, ladies. Congratulations. Next up is boys tennis. I'd like to introduce Coach Tom Clark.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Okay. You know, while I was sitting there, I was thinking you know those things you're so excited about and you're truly looking forward to, and then the minute it happens, you regret it for the rest of your life, like marriage? Well, just kidding, just kidding. Well, I was going to say, somebody's agreeing with me. I was going to say how this is the opposite. All day long, it's like, oh, I feel horrible. I'm not looking forward to it. But once I'm here, it's so terrific. I love seeing the kids. I love seeing Mr. Pacheco and the parents. It's really nice. I really enjoy this. Okay, the medal thing I'm carrying around, you may be wondering what I'm carrying, is because my nemesis, my arch rival, the girls' tennis coach, said I'm living in the past. So I want to ask you, would the Boston Globe 2012 Boys Tennis Coach of the Year be living in the past? I don't think so. Thank you. That is sad, though, isn't it? Okay, to start off with, I'd like to thank the administration, principal, superintendent, Mr. Pacheco, the custodians, the maintenance people who replace our net cords, net straps so quickly. And it really makes our job so much easier. And the parents and the players, of course. How much more time do I have? 30? 30 minutes? Okay. Seriously, I'll keep this. I've heard this already tonight. I don't know how valid it is. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. While sitting there also, I was thinking and dwelling on things, and I was going to come up here and impart the meaning of life to you, the secret of world peace, and solve global warming, but I'm on the clock, so I've got to hurry to do this. So, there. We made the playoffs. We ended up 7-7, where power ranking was 18, and we're going to play Thursday at Sandwich, and their ranked power ranking is 15, so it should be a close, good match. We've had a very successful season. We had a big team, 17 players this year, 7th grader, 4 8th graders who are on the trip, plenty of sophomores, juniors, and seniors. No freshmen, though. That's odd. But anyway, I did say I was going to keep this short, so I'm going to go right to the awards. Is that okay? All right. Well, I'll do this first. Okay, thank you.
I'm going to call the players up first, so that way you have kids to give awards to, Coach. Our 2023 boys tennis team: Luke Coelho, Nick Dos Valles, Owen Fredrickson, Brody Gerard, Adrian Gonzalez, Jack Keene, Ryan Keene, Christian Coster, Zachary Lopes, Fatima Harris, Luke Santos, Brady Silva, Evan Smith, Kaiki Souza Santos, Ethan Stewart, Sam Van Son, and Neil Walker.
We were asked to give our award winners relatively early this year. So I instantly thought of this player who's been terrific and truly improved his game this year. And then towards the end of the season, I do want to mention this other player who has really turned it on the last couple of weeks. I mean, truly amazing. And if he had done that a while ago, I'd really have a tough choice. And that's just to let you know, that's Sam Van Son, our #1, who was fantastic. He's been playing lights out. I don't know what other sports cliches I can say, but he's been playing lights out for the last couple of weeks. Amazing. The person that I'm going to give the award to has truly improved his game this season. He's playing hard. He's hitting the corners. He has pace on his shots. He's improved every part of his game, including his demeanor. And that's Jack Keene. Okay, thank you. Okay, the Coach's Award goes to that person that makes my life so much easier. He truly helps me. He volunteers for everything. He thinks of things before I even think of it myself. He's a very good player, better than he thinks. He fills in wherever we need him, and truly is, I've heard the heart and soul bit already tonight, but he really is center of the team, and that's Brady Silva. Okay. And thank you. Our MVP this year, he's a senior. He has the best record on the team. He's 11-2. He plays wherever we need him, whether it's doubles. He's normally a doubles player, but he'll fill in as singles if we need him, which is a totally different game and is not as easy as one might think. And anyway, he's terrific. He's really been good. He's captain this year, and he's brought so much spirit to the team that he truly deserves this in addition to his wins, and that's Nick Dos Valles. Are we going to do the Westport on 2, family on 6 then? Okay, is that it? Thank you.
Congratulations, boys. Thank you, Coach. Girls tennis, call back up Coach Matt Camper.
Thank you, Jay. For tennis this year, we really didn't have the results we wanted in terms of wins and losses, but we were extremely competitive in the majority of our losses. We finished 4-10, but of those 10 losses, 4 of them, we lost 3-2. And it was either a tiebreaker here or a third set there. So we were very competitive, and the record doesn't reflect the talent we have or the dedication and the effort the girls put into the season. Unfortunately for us, we have a good core of young players who will now go into next season battle-tested, and I think this season will help us going forward. Turn it back over to Jay.
Our 2023 girls tennis team, Ella Baldwin, Samantha Barboza, Avery Carvalho, Addison Crawford, Juliette Evans, Abigail Forbes, Catherine Gifford, Kaylin Jones, Haley Coster, Taylor McCarthy, Olivia Morris, Madison Plourde, Talia Raish, and Michaela Rigo.
All right, so I'm going to start with my most improved. This is a kid who only started playing the game of tennis last year, and she was still a solid contributor for us last year. This season, she was called upon to step up and fill some big shoes because of the departures we had from last year's team, and she showed flashes of potential. And I think when she starts to put it all together, she's going to be an extremely dangerous player. Fortunately for us, she's only a freshman, so she has plenty of time to hone her skills in the coming years. Most improved player for us this year is Talia Raish. Next, I'm going to do my MVP. Bottom line, this kid was just dominant this year. She finished the season with a record of 12-1, and she played against the other team's best players day in and day out, playing out of our number 1 spot. She only got stronger as the season went on, and she was also asked to take on a leadership role this year as a team captain, which she did admirably. Fortunately for me, she's only a junior, so I get her for one more season. This year's MVP is Kaylin Jones. Coach's Award. This kid has been on the team since she was in 7th grade, and we're losing her this year because she's a senior, so it's definitely the end of an era. She was never the most technically sound player I ever had, but there was never a shot she didn't think she could get to, and she was willing to run into fences, nets, and dive on the court to prove that point. She never lost a match due to lack of hustle, and it's a trait I hope all my younger players adopt. She has an extremely infectious personality and was the lifeblood of the team for the last few seasons. You always knew where she was on the court because you could hear her screaming, yelling, talking, or singing, and you always knew when she wasn't at practice because it sounded like we were at the Westport Library. She was loved by all her teammates, past and present, and she'll be missed by all of them and by me. This year's Coach's Award goes to Michaela Rigo.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, ladies. Congratulations. All right, and our last sports for the spring, before we get into some sportsmanship awards and other things, and recognizing our seniors, is a new program to our school this year, lacrosse, and head coach Matt Shivers.
Hello, I know I'm last, so I'll do my best to be quick, and I'm a big talker, so if I'm even just slightly fast, I'll count that as a success. So Mr. Pacheco can tell you that I've been saying for a few years that I felt like Westport would be a great school for lacrosse, so it was very gratifying for me this year to be able to head a team here at Westport for the first time ever. Our record this year was 6-12, which isn't maybe the best record in our conference, but I don't know that that record tells the whole story of this season. For a brand new team, 6 wins was already, I think, quite impressive. And unlike soccer or basketball or baseball, the players on Westport's lacrosse team were pretty much all newcomers to the sport. Not a single player on our team really played competitive lacrosse, I think, before high school. And we're playing against teams that have filled with players who have been playing since they were in 4th or 3rd or 5th maybe grade, with a ton more experience than us, and yet we competed. Despite the fact that, our record was 6-12, many of those losses were quite close, within a couple points, including a really intense overtime nail-biter that, we really could taste. What was so important to me, however, more than our record, was the way the team came together as a team over this spring. They created a culture and an inaugural season that I think really set a bar for future years. We have work to do moving forward. Of our team of 18 players, we're losing 6 seniors. But I think if nothing else, this season to me at least proved right to me what I've been saying for years, and that Westport has the potential to be a lacrosse force in future seasons. That's it. I was trying to be fast, so we'll jump ahead.
Come back and do your awards. Our 2023 lacrosse players: Tyler Ariel, Matthew Borges, Ryan Borges, Owen Boudria, Matt Costa, Nick Costa, Ben Cross, Jacob Cross, Sean DeRoche, Julia George, Andre Gisome, Hunter Matus, Coltrane McGonigal, Isaiah Poydras, William Quinlan, Colleen Smith, Nick Stanton, and Avery Viveros.
All right, I'm almost done, I promise. So, like every other coach, I have 3 awards to give out this evening, and I'm going to start with Most Improved. I would say that this award could go to literally anyone on this team, because the whole team really started here from nothing. There are a ton of players deserving of this award, and if you just pointed your finger randomly up here, the person you're pointing at absolutely would be deserving of it. But I felt this season, especially as our inaugural season, I really needed to recognize some essential players that weren't just important on the field or useful on the field, but were important in setting up this team for the future. And so the most improved player this season is someone who played last year on the co-op team at Bishop Conley, but was new to the sport then. Someone who last year, just a single goal and a single assist. But this year's most improved player, Avery Viveros, stepped onto the field in a way I did not expect at all this season. Hold on one sec. A senior captain, he outstripped his previous season by a significant margin. Second for points on the team as a whole. He scored 20 goals and had 11 assists this season. His progress and ability to always be in the right spot and push himself no matter what he had going on is something that I really want the rest of the team to look up to and try to achieve. So congratulations, Avery. For my coaches award this year, I don't really need to beat around the bush. This one is going to go to Matt Borges, also a senior captain. He was huge for the team. He anchored our defense in a lot of ways, shut down players defensively that were bound for high-level college lacrosse, was huge for the team, put in a ton of work, even just in the preseason, trying to teach all of our new players how to play the game, what to expect when they stepped on the field, constantly, sometimes I think a little bit to the annoyance of his fellow defenders, constantly giving advice and feedback and teaching them to be better on the field constantly. Offense often gets all the glory tonight as well, but I really want to make it clear that without Matt, our offense would have had very little of an opportunity to shine this season at all. Congrats, Matt. And I don't think anyone who's followed our team this season at all would be surprised by the selection of Coltrane McGonigal as this year's MVP. Yeah, you can clap once, real quick. Coltrane was everything you want in a leader and a captain. He gave everything he had every time he was on the field. He showed up early to practice, encouraged teammates to build their skills. He stayed after practice and games sometimes to help other players work on skills, donating his time to help teach players how to get better. He embodied what we want out of our student athletes, and we'll miss him greatly. And his conduct alone, I think, might have been enough for this award, but if you want a little bit of stats, Coltrane also led our team both in goals and assists this season with a total of 15 assists and 46 goals. He achieved a total of, all right, you can clap again, it's all right. He also achieved this season a total of 100 career points, which is, to give you a little bit of context, somewhat equivalent to about 1,000 points in basketball, which for someone who's only played for 3 years is crazy. And he anchored our offense and anchored our team. Congratulations, Cole. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach, and our 2023 lacrosse team. Okay. At this time, I'd like to recognize our MIAA Fall, Winter, and Spring Sportsmanship Award winners. These awards are presented to male and female athletes who have exemplified outstanding sportsmanship during their respective seasons. I will call them all up at the same time to recognize them. Beginning in the fall with our females, Taylor Perry and Isabella Babb. Our fall male winners, Antonio Dutra Africano and Noah Soul. In the winter, our female winners, Shelby Orr and Jada Paquita. Our winter male athletes, Benjamin Boudria and Cameron Leary. And in the spring, females, Peyton Majuri, Braylon Montigny, and Olivia Morris. And our male winners in the spring, Matthew Borges, Nick Dos Valles, and Avery Viveros. Let's hear it for our fall, winter, and spring sportsmanship award winners. Next up, pretty special award for our Westport High School athletes, and it's called the Athlete for All Seasons Award. These awards are presented to female and male students who participated in 3 sports for all 4 years of high school. These student athletes competed in 12 seasons, the maximum allowed by the MIAA. The 2023 recipients of the Westport Middle High School Athlete for All Seasons Awards are Braylon Montigny, Ben Boudria, Nick Dos Valles, and Coltrane McGonigal. Congratulations and thank you to all 4 of you for your dedication. Last but not least, I'd like to call upon our friends from the Westport Athletic Boosters to help hand out our senior gifts. Okay, ladies first. Our senior student athletes, Molly Bazinet, Kylie Finglas, Peyton Majuri, Braylon Montigny, Olivia Morris, Shelby Orr, Taylor Perry, Michaela Rigo, Cameron Resendiz, Vittoria Rodrigues, and Leah Sylvain. No, you can come back. You can just come down to the end and then just hang, because I'm going to call the boys up too. And our male senior student athletes, Tyler Ariel, Matt Borges, Ben Boudria, Hunter Broder, Owen Kudo, Sean DeRoche, Nick Dos Valles, Antonio Dutra Africano, Owen Fredrickson, Noah Lacey, Sean Lavoie, Cameron Leary, Coltrane McGonigal, Maxwell Murati, William Souza, Noah Soul, and Avery Viveros. Seniors, thank you. Thank you for the years. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for everything you've accomplished in truly being the ultimate Westport Wildcats. And also thank you to the boosters for the gifts given to them. Congratulations and thank you.